Hello, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Thach, but you can call me Thomas. That's my English name. I am a Vietnamese international student and currently a junior at North Broward Prep. How many of you have built sandcastles when playing on the beach? Oh, it seems like it's the majority of us today. Building sandcastles feels so universal, no matter where we come from. But today, I'm not gonna talk about sandcastles, but another type of castle known as glass castle. Then you guys might be wondering, why glass castles? Well, it is from the title of a memoir that I've read a few months ago called The Glass Castle by Janet Walls. So for those of you who haven't read the memoir, it's just generally about Janet's dad and his dream of building a glass castle, which unfortunately he's never be able to achieve that. But throughout the story, I've realized that her dad was not the only one who has a dream like that. Every other character in the story also has their own glass castles. They are their hopes, their visions, and dreams for creating a better future. And it really got me thinking at that point. Don't we all have a glass castle? Our dreams might be fragile, like glass, and hard to achieve. But it's also worth noting that it is also beautiful and meaningful, and inspire us to strive, even though we know that the journey ahead might be a little bit difficult. So for myself, my glass castle has always been to be able to represent my hometown, Phú Yên, to the world and promote its cultural values using technology as a tool. Since I dream of becoming a software engineer in the future, and that's why everything that I've done so far is just a really small step towards this really ambitious goal. So that is why I know it hasn't been always that easy. My dream got criticized by some people, and I was humbled by setbacks. But then I learned how to trust myself and follow my own path. So it's not really a long or short period of time. It's just like 3 years ago, I have decided to leave my family behind to go to study abroad in the United States. Such a beautiful country, isn't it? Since then, I have started a calligraphy club to promote my culture to other students, including day students and also residential students. And I was honored to win the West Cecil Scholarship, which is a really prestigious residential scholarship. And for this year, I was also thrilled to be accepted into the IB Diploma program, which is another challenge I'm taking on to push myself a little bit further. And all of those milestones just prove that even when others doubt you, staying true to yourself can lead to incredible opportunities. And while it seems like we all have different dreams, there is something that we share in common: the desire to create a better future. And just like how hot sand could be transformed into glass, every single action we take, even the smallest, can shape something extraordinary. And one example from that is my experience from a volunteer opportunity known as Tech 101. So typically, it's just an event that I'm gonna go to a local community center and help a senior with their tech. So you could call me like a digital coach, kind of. And it's also an activity that I'm looking forward to every other weekend, not just because I could assist them with those things, but also because I could learn a lot of valuable life lessons from those seniors. And there was this one day, after finished helping her with the tech, and this lady was like just chit-chatting, kind of like anything about life. She told me about her childhood, family, her travels, and then we suddenly switched to the topic of dream. And that is when she told me something that I would never forget. We always think that we are different, but deep down, we are all the same. We all share the desires and aspirations for making the world a better place. And that thought really stayed with me. It helps me realize that no matter where we come from or what we are striving for in life, what we are trying to do is that to make the world better in your own ways. And honestly, at first, I thought Tech 101 is just simply a teeny tiny activity. It's just you go there every other weekend and help them out with those phones or tablets. It's just a really small activity, not worth to mention. But then the meaning and the impact it has in long term is really big. Um, for example, there's another lady, not this one, but I've helped her for also 3 years. So like since I start moving here and start at North Broward Prep, every time I help her, she always tell me that even though she's not close to her grandchildren, every time I talk to her, she feels like I'm her grandson. And honestly, having the same feeling for her, because I'm away from my family in Vietnam. So like every time I talk to her, I'm feeling like she's like my grandma. All the stories, all the memories we share, it, all of that just makes me feel like I'm back home in Vietnam with my family. And all of those different experiences from different places, they all together really inspire me to start building my own glass castle. It's not a huge one though. It's just a really small tourism website for my hometown, as I mentioned earlier, Phu Inh. Yeah, you could see it has a really beautiful scenery, really wild, really natural, and it's also the place that I was born. But unfortunately, it was not that well known domestically and internationally. That is also why I think now is the time for me to start paying back to the place that shaped who I am today. And I really hope that this small glass castle could really help promoting the cultural values from my hometown and also contribute to its growth. And I would say even though my castle is small in size, but I think it has such a big impact. Because might be someone else have a chance to look at my castle, and they might be inspired by that and start building their own, to share their own heritage and culture, to turn their dreams to something that can shine. And just to wrap all these things up, I want to leave you with just one thought. Every one of us here has a power to build a glass castle. Our dreams can feel small or even impossible, but it has a place. Every glass castle has its own spot. And one day, it will shine. And it's gonna be the most beautiful light you've ever seen in your life. Different castles shine at different times, in different ways. And that doesn't really matter, because eventually, we would all shine in the ways that we would want to. So, what's your glass castle? Is it still taking shape or is it ready to shine? I'm not quite sure about that. But there's one thing that I'm sure about, is that the world is waiting for your light. Thank you for your listening, and I can't wait to see your glass castles come to life. Thank you.